Stay there. Hey, welcome to Prelude to Ulysses. Alex reads littler things. I'm still on the fence as to whether we'll continue reading Logic Puzzles by Gardner, but let's get it going. This is from the book Gotcha, Paradoxes to Puzzle and Delight by Martin Gardner, who, when he talks to you, he looks like this, exasperated at your inability to understand what he's saying. You're like, Martin, you didn't write that big a book, man. Okay, let's edit all that out and get going. I don't remember what happened lately. It doesn't matter. It's called the liar paradox. Epimenides was a legendary Greek poet who lived in Crete in the 6th century BC. He was the original Rip Van Winkle. Still, I don't know who that is. One myth about him is that he once slept for 57 years. The statement attributed to him is logically contradictory, provided we assume that liars always lie, and that people who are not liars, we call them truth tellers, always tell the truth. On this assumption, the statement, all Cretans are liars, cannot be true, because this would make Epimenides a liar. Therefore, what he says would be false. Neither can it be false because it would imply that all Okay, so the statement that we attribute to him is all Cretans are liars. Could have made that a little clearer, I think. Oh, it says there's this cartoon. This is not going to go like the other ones. There's this cartoon. Oh, you can't even see that. It doesn't matter. It says Epimenides is reputed to have said all Cretans are liars. Considering that he was a Cretan, did Epimenides speak truly? Okay, so this is going to be. Therefore, what he says would be false. Neither can it be false because it would imply that Cretans are truth tellers, and consequently, what Epimenides says would be true unless he's not secretly a Cretan. Is that where that word comes from? The ancient Greeks were much puzzled as to how a statement that seems to make a perfectly good sense would be neither true nor false without self-contradiction. I mean, it's only false, that statement. A Stoic philosopher, Chrysippus, wrote 6 treatises on the liar paradox, none of which survived. Philetus of Kos, a Greek poet who was so thin it was said he carried lead in his shoes to keep from being blown away, worried himself into an early grave over it. Why? In the New Testament, St. Paul repeats the paradox in his epistle to Titus. One of themselves, even a prophet of their own, said, the Cretans are always liars. Evil beasts, slow bellies. This witness is true. We don't know whether Paul was aware of the paradox involved in these statements. There's a lot of paradoxes in the Bible. Why does this form... Okay, so the next thing, there's another little tag up here with a drawing of something hanging from a clothesline. It's a piece of paper with something written on it. That thing written on it is Babylon 5. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, man. It says this sentence is false. And then next to it, it says we are caught in the notorious liar paradox. Here it is in its simplest form. The sentence is false. Is it true? If so, it's false. Is it false? If so, it's true. Okay. Contradictory statements like this are more common than you think. All right. Why does this form of the paradox, in which a sentence talks about itself, make the paradox clearer? Because it eliminates all ambiguity over whether a liar always lies and a truth teller always tells the truth. Well, those people don't exist. There are endless variations. Bertrand Russell once expressed his belief that the philosopher George Edward Moore lied only once in his life. When someone asked him if he always told the truth, Moore thought a moment and said no. Forms of the liar paradox have played central roles in several short stories. My favorite is Told Under Oath by Lord Dunsany. You can find it in a recent anthology of his lesser known writings, The Ghosts of the Heaviside Layer and Other Fantasies. In this story, Dunsany meets a man who pledges under solemn oath that the story he's about to tell is the whole truth and nothing but the truth. It seems that the man met Satan at a party, and the two struck a bargain. It was arranged that the man, who had always been the worst golfer in the club, would always make a hole-in-one. After repeated holes-in-one, everyone became convinced the man was somehow cheating, and he was expelled from the club. The story ends when Dunsany asks what Satan got in return for his gift. He extorted from me, the man said, my power of ever speaking the truth again. Okay. So, that's all we're going to read about that. So, if he was not speaking the truth ever again, then he lied about telling the truth. He lied about meeting Satan. He lied about golfing. He lied about what he got in return. So, okay. It's a paradox in itself. It cannot exist. I don't know if these paradoxes can indicate a real paradox in the world. Just a paradox in thinking, right? Or is that all paradoxes? Is there a world paradox? What's something that can't exist and exists? Like for Rizzle. I don't know. All right, well, what did we learn today? We learned what the liar paradox is. Great. I'm glad we did that together. Goodbye.